Hi, I'm Billy Haynes. Watching the press conference yesterday for the government, and they were saying that they expect about 200,000 people to pass away in the next few weeks. So I was doing the math, and a lot of the math doesn't work out, and I'll show you why, but we'll go from there. So, virus started in China, communist country. As soon as they realized that there was an issue, they shut the whole country down. Nobody left their house. Very simple. Then the country, as we know, it spread out to other countries, Spain, Italy, around the other places. So Spain and Italy, little more, it's not communist, obviously. So virus took off a little more, higher fatality rates, and they had a hard time grasping it, and then they finally shut down the countries. So it comes to America. So America, here we are, we're Americans. Nobody wants to stay home. Nobody wants to, we're free. We want to go be able to do stuff, go, do whatever, go on the beach, whatever. So here's the problem. You go to Joe's house. Joe goes back to work. So Joe gets the virus, and he has, next thing you know, he gives it to somebody else, and they take it back to their home. That's how it spreads around, because that's why they're saying non-essential, stay home. So here's the math. So the government is saying that 50% of Americans could catch the virus. That's a lot of people. So in America, there is 330 million people. Now, there could be more, could be less. I mean, there's, the census hasn't, a lot of people don't do the census, things like that. So we're just going to use some round numbers. I'm going to use 150 million people catch the virus. 150 million people. Now, 150 million people catch the virus. They know that's still a lot. That's a lot of people that will catch the virus if 50% of the people caught it. Then they know that 20% of the people that catch the virus have complications, have to go to the hospital. So that would be 30 million people. Now, 30 million people. That's a lot of people going to the hospital. Now, not all at one time, of course. This is over the course of, as the virus runs its course. So then they say there's a 1% fatality rate. Oh, about. It could be a little higher, it could be a little less. Let's just use 1% as a rule. So that would be 1.5 million people. That's a city, by the way. 1.5 million people, that's a city. So that's a lot of people to pass away from the virus over time. Now, this could happen over time. Now, the government is saying 200,000 over the next couple weeks. So, using the math, and what I did was so if you take the 330 billion people, the government's basically saying that they're thinking less than 10% of the people are going to catch the virus because we're staying home, we're staying away from people, less than 10% of the people. So I'm going to use 10%. I'll show you what that, just a 10% of the so at 10%, that's 33 million people. 33 million people catch the virus in the United States in the next 2 weeks, let's say. That's a lot of people. And then 20% of that many people would have to go to the hospital. That's the average right now. So that's 6.6 million people. 6,600,000 people would have to go to the hospital. Now, here's where the problem comes in and where you're hearing on the news. There is not enough hospital beds. There's only 800 to 900,000 hospital beds in the United States. That's between private, community, VA, everything, about 900,000 hospital beds. Not all of those are ICU, by the way. So that's why they're expecting some big issues here because there's not enough hospital beds. 1% fatality rate. If you use a 1% fatality rate at 33 million, that's 330,000 people at 1% of 10% of the country. So I'm hoping the government's right at 200,000. That would be great. But the numbers a lot of times don't add up because you're seeing more and more people with the virus. So we'll see if I'm right. Hopefully I'm wrong, which is great. But stay away from people. Don't go out and talk to other people. Stay home if you can. Protect yourself. We'll get through this. Have a great day.